There is something strange about the human mind. It can carry pain without showing a single crack. It can smile in public and collapse in silence. You walk through your day, you speak, you laugh, you respond. But somewhere, beneath all that, something feels heavy. Not loud, not dramatic, just constant. And the strangest part? No one really sees it, because everyone else is doing the same thing, silently carrying something. This is not just about problems, not about failure, not about circumstances. It goes deeper than that, because what you feel is not just shaped by what happens to you. It is shaped by what your mind tells you about what happened. Your mind is not a mirror, it is a storyteller. It takes reality and rewrites it, sometimes subtly, sometimes brutally. Two people can live the same moment, the same loss, the same rejection, the same silence, and yet they walk away with completely different lives, because one sees it as an ending, the other sees it as a beginning. Nothing changed outside, everything changed inside, and that is where your struggle lives, not in the world, but in the meaning you give to it. You see, your mind is like a lens, and over time, that lens gets scratched by experiences, by words, by expectations, by comparison, especially comparison. You look around, and it feels like everyone else is moving forward, faster, better, stronger. And you feel stuck, like you're the only one who hasn't figured it out yet. But that's the illusion, because the world you see is not the world as it is. It is the world as it appears through your mind. And your mind has been trained, conditioned, not always consciously, but slowly, from childhood, from school, from society. You were taught to look at results, to measure progress, to chase outcomes. And somewhere along the way, you learned this dangerous belief. If I don't see results, it means I'm failing. But that's not truth, that's interpretation. Because change, real change, doesn't always show itself immediately. You can work hard and still see nothing. You can try consistently and still feel stuck. And in that silence, your mind starts talking. It's not working, you're wasting time, you're not good enough. And slowly, you begin to believe it. Not because it's true, but because it's repeated. Your mind doesn't just observe reality, it constructs it. And once it constructs it, you start living inside it. This is where most people break. Not because they lack strength, but because they lack clarity. They think the problem is outside, so they keep trying to fix the outside. More effort, more pressure, more force. But the real question is, what is your mind doing with what you experience? Because here's the truth. Motivation is not what you think it is. It feels powerful, it feels intense, but it fades, always. Motivation is a spark, not a system. And yet, you were taught to depend on it, to wait for it, to feel ready. But readiness is a myth. Action doesn't come from feeling ready. It comes from something deeper, from reinforcement, from experience, from small, visible signs that what you are doing is working, even if only slightly. Because the human mind responds to feedback, not just effort. If you do something and nothing happens, your brain disconnects. It stops associating effort with reward, and slowly you stop trying. Not because you're lazy, but because your mind has stopped believing it matters. This is not weakness, this is conditioning, and this is where systems matter, because your behavior is not just yours. It is shaped by the environment around you, by the responses you receive, by the feedback you experience. If your effort is ignored, you shrink. If your effort is punished, you withdraw. If your effort is recognized, even slightly, you grow. This is not philosophy, this is psychology. And yet, most people blame themselves. They say, I don't have discipline. I don't have motivation. But they never ask, what kind of system am I living in? Because sometimes the problem is not you. It is the environment that fails to reinforce you, that fails to guide you, that fails to meet you where you are. And in that absence, you start searching elsewhere, for validation, for success, for meaning. You move, not toward what is right, but toward what responds, toward what rewards. And slowly, your path changes, not by decision, but by conditioning. This is how lives shift, quietly, gradually, almost invisibly. And yet, you think it's all your fault. But step back for a moment, look deeper. Ask yourself, what does this experience mean to me? Not why it happened, but what it represents. Because meaning is the real weight you carry, not events. Events pass, but meaning stays. And sometimes it traps you. Sometimes it frees you. This is where everything changes. When you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what does this mean for me? That shift is the turning point. Because now you are no longer reacting. You are interpreting, consciously, deliberately. You begin to see your pain not as punishment, but as information, a signal, a message, something your mind is trying to show you, not something to escape, but something to understand. This is not easy, because your mind will resist it. It prefers familiar narratives, even painful ones, because they feel certain, and certainty feels safe. But growth lives in uncertainty, in not knowing, in questioning, in stepping into discomfort without immediate answers. This is where transformation begins, not when life becomes clear, but when you learn to move through the unclear. And slowly, you start to notice something. The same situation feels different, not because it changed, but because you did. This is the essence of behavioral change. Not forcing yourself to act differently, but understanding why you act the way you do, seeing the patterns, the reinforcements, the silent conditioning, and then choosing differently, not perfectly, but consciously. This is what Raghav reflects in Stones and Thorns, that human struggle is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of awareness waiting to happen, that pain is not always something to eliminate, sometimes it is something to interpret, because within every thorn there is a direction, and within every stone there is resistance that shapes you. You are not broken, you are responding to your environment, to your experiences, to your interpretations. And once you see that, you stop blaming yourself and start understanding yourself. That is where power begins, not in control over everything, but in awareness of what you can control, your meaning, your response, your interpretation. And maybe that is enough. Maybe that is where real change starts, not in becoming someone else, but in finally seeing who you already are. As Raghav writes through Stones and Thorns, life does not demand perfection, it asks for perception, because the way you see is the way you live. So the question is, what are you seeing right now? And more importantly, what does it mean to you? If this made you pause, if it made you think, then don't ignore it. Write your thoughts in the comments, because sometimes one honest thought can change everything. And if this spoke to you, like, subscribe, and share, because someone out there is silently carrying something too.